Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Shoe Podcast, the only sneaker podcast that did not cancel their appearance at weekend 2 of Coachella. I'm your co-host, Ryan Landry.
I'm your consistent co-host, Tanner Young.
We're dating ourselves here. You know, you put a little date on the episode like that. For those of you that are new here, watching on YouTube, listening on your favorite podcast provider, do us a quick second. If you like that joke and you like shoes in general, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button. Hell, if you don't like that joke, go ahead and do it.
Ring that bell.
Where are you, Frank? We need you.
Just honestly, just don't make appearances. Just work on an album.
If you know you're not much of a performer and more of like a studio artist, maybe, you know, focus efforts there. I don't know.
Focus efforts there. I honestly would love Frank to do like one album every 10 years just to see, am I growing with his music?
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's what I'd like to see. A decade.
I like we're starting the episode with a little like Frank Ocean advice here. I'm sure he's listening. Or his people are listening at least.
Yeah. Someone in his team is there. If not, you know what I mean? Hit the Twitter sphere. Go ahead and add Frank on this one.
Add Frank. Let him know. Well, speaking of dating ourselves, we are doing so because we're recording this one a little bit in advance here. So this episode, we can let him peek behind the curtain there. That's okay. Let's shatter the fourth wall right away. I vote we do the whole episode looking directly into the lens of the camera. People love that. Exactly.
Don't blink.
So we're recording this one early because you're at the beach next week. Well, you're at the beach this week as of when this episode comes out. So
yes. Yeah. Gonna be making the night drive. I've oddly gotten a liking to it.
I know you're a night drive kind of guy.
Yeah, less traffic. Yeah. It's a little bit cooler, which my dad says better gas mileage. I don't know how
That's a dad fact if I've ever heard one.
I don't know how much that it does, but going for the yearly, step away from capitalism. Try to relax, but probably won't because anxiety.
There's no shot. I've never been on one of your beach trips, but from what you tell me, sometimes y'all like to go loose and have fun at like the outlets or Target or something like that. So I feel like you only step away from capitalism somewhat. You like change flavors of capitalism, I would say.
Well, I change the flavor of capitalism in the sense of that I fuel it in a different aspect.
There you go.
I'm throwing money at it.
You're on. It's like when the teams switch on the field,
100%. Yeah. I'm more of like I go from being the gear to being the lubricant. If that.
So many weird analogies right at the top of this episode. Sense. If you're still listening, I promise we talk about shoes at some point.
If you're lucky.
It does happen. We eventually get there.
So yeah, very excited. We'll be nice. While I'm at the beach, what are you going to be doing? Are you going to be trying to chillax?
I will be chillaxing in the sense that I'm coming off of a week of editing the video. My first time doing one of the edits for one of our video interviews. Shout out Stu, who we just interviewed. That video went live last week as of when you're watching this. That's weird to say because I'm not done with it yet, and it's coming out this week as of when we're recording it. But we'll have a link to it right here at the top of the screen for those of you watching at YouTube, or if you're listening through your favorite podcast provider. Hopefully you already caught the episode last week. But
if you're a real one,
having that behind me and then hopefully getting this episode done very well before it's due, I'm going to sit back and enjoy not creating content for a little bit, if we're being honest.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, I will say the confidence. Not to say that I don't think you have any video editing experience, because I feel like you've done some clips. You've definitely been pushing out the clips, so there is some there. But to have, I would say, minimal video editing experience, to be like, I'll do an entire episode.
Yeah. Well,
the confidence
I'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out. Hey, worst case scenario, I don't know.
Worst case scenario, we go back to audio only. We did that for years. We just roll back. Yeah. Sorry, Stu.
You'll be all right.
Your voice sounds great. Yeah. But no, that video episode should be out. Make sure you check it out. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. What we're here to talk about today is the shoes coming out that we're looking forward to in May of 2023. In the words of Justin Timberlake, it's gonna be May.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You've heard that joke enough that it didn't really do much for you. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, do we just get into the shoes? I have this weird thing in my head where it's not an example of it, but I'm terrible with words sometimes where I just get them twisted just in the worst way.
You're such a punny guy. I feel you're such a wordsmith.
It's the issue that my brain is cranking them out faster, and then I get so excited that I'm trying, and I'm like trying to tell you the joke so fast that I just trip over the finish line.
Yeah. All right. Well, April showers, May flowers. What are we bringing?
Let's talk about it. Jarritos, Nike SB and Jarritos Dunk Low coming to us on May 6th. For the retail price of $130. We will say right at the top of this episode, big disclaimer, especially because we're recording this one so far in advance. Obviously, dates are subject to change. If, by the time this episode comes out, there's some other giant sneaker release in May that we didn't cover because it wasn't announced yet. Sorry. That being said, I think this episode is going to drop on Friday, May 5th. So when you're listening to this, tomorrow, Saturday, May 6th, the Jarritos Nike SB Dunk Low is dropping. These are obviously inspired by that delicious sugary soda. It's got these nice little like canvas panels on the upper with the little orange logo on the back quarter heel there. But something I didn't realize until I started looking into these more, tearaway on the uppers, which I think this might still be an early mock-up, so maybe even take this with a grain of salt, but I believe it's got tearaway uppers. Have you seen anyone talking about this?
I did not. When I was looking into it, other than the notes that we have for this episode, I couldn't really see anything. Like I didn't see any major outlets talking about the tearaway. So could be one of the things that was an idea. Maybe they had a sample. I don't know if they've gone away from it. Would be interesting to see. I just don't really know why the tearaway would go with this one.
Yeah, tell you what, if you're listening and you picked up a pair of these and you're feeling a little, you got the liquid courage in you, maybe go ahead and take the scalpel to yours. Let us know. Hit the comments.
Why not?
Hit us in the DMs at Shoe Podcast. Let us know, hey, jerks, I just ruined my pair of shoes because you told me it was tearaway. Whoops. And we'll say there's something under there, surely. I don't know if it's this.
More shoe.
This is what's under there.
There's at least more shoe.
There's
Worst case scenario, more shoe.
But yes, if nothing else, there's more shoe. Other details, it does include, I'm impressed, this one comes with 4 sets of laces, I'm pretty sure. Green, orange, 2 sets of white laces, I think 1 with green aglets and 1 with orange aglets, which is a little extra. But, I'm never going to, turn away more laces.
Yeah, the chuchuts, it's cute. I like it.
It's cute.
I mean, the little orange pouring out, that's adorable.
Yeah.
I mean, if anything, if this is a tearaway shoe, watch out, University of Miami.
I was just thinking that. Well, especially the Sunshine State with the oranges.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
This one's in Florida.
This one's Friends and Family just for the University of Miami.
Hey, speaking of Friends and Family, Nike SB is sending out some Friends and Family boxes that look like this. These are not a special box version that's like available for purchase, not to my understanding, but they got some little Friends and Family boxes that they're sending out to, I think, a handful of skate shops. I haven't seen that many people get them yet, with 4 different flavors of Jarritos. Now, this image is pretty small on my end here, but I think we got mandarin, lime is the yellow and pineapple. And then red one is fruit punch.
Fruit punch. There you go.
So, and it's cool. The bottles come with the swoosh and the SB branding on them. I feel like it's like very close to missed opportunity because like Nike SB, the quick strikes are in the rainbow box era right now. So this is like pretty close to that, but not exactly that. But I think rainbow boxes have blue on them, and I don't know if Jarritos makes a blue flavor, so maybe it didn't work out. Still, this is great.
This is very cool. I can't wait to see like the Instagram flex videos of someone like drinking these or breaking the bottle or something. I'm sure somebody's going to do something wild.
You know what I'm putting out there? And now, granted, I don't think we have the pull of the clout to get one of these special boxes, but let me tell you right now, Internet, and hold me to it. If I can hit on a pair of the Jarritos Dunks, I put it out there. The first thing I put out there was that we'll unbox them on IG Live and chug Jarritos while we do it. That is still out there. We should set some sort of threshold for like YouTube subscribers, Instagram followers, or something like that, where I dunk them in Jarritos to try and dye them. and we'll let chat pick the flavor. If
Pick
it's
the
one of
color?
these flavors,
Wow.
I feel like that would be,
That's cool.
just
That's
some
fun.
content for you as well. So listen, we're getting really ahead of ourselves thinking we're even
We don't
hitting
even
on
have the
these.
shoe.
But Exactly. But if we do, and we unbox it and we chug them, and then we figure out, we set our own goalposts later, maybe we dye them in a bottle of Jarritos.
So you might as well subscribe and follow now.
You might as well get in while you can. If you want your voice to matter, you'll get in now while you can.
Absolutely. Right.
Yeah.
What do you think the resale is on those bottles?
Oh, the bottles themselves?
Yeah. Yeah. Not the shoe. Just bottles.
I thought you were going to ask the shoes, and I was like, that's weird because we don't normally do that. But I don't know, because it's friends and family, so there's no retail price. So it's really, and for how few of them there are, I mean, really, if you were lucky enough to get one of these, I guess you get to set the price. I'll throw it out there because I think dunks are still crazy, and SB collectors and Nike collectors are crazy. 300, 400. I think people go a couple hundred for this sort of thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say 400 to 500 was what I would see.
I was gonna guess 5, but I didn't want to be like way wild on it. But if you're thinking, maybe we land at 400. Now, granted, if you have one of these and you're listening, I'm not willing to pay 400. But we have a pretty cool idea, admittedly, and we'd love if you didn't do it yourselves because it was our idea. But if you've got one of these and you're willing to part ways with it for less than $400, hit us up. Let's talk. Even free. Free would be even better.
Free is how much we pay.
Yeah. Final offer, no negotiations. So all that being said,
Nike,
how are you feeling about these? Are you interested in them?
I like them. I like them. They're just like a very simple colorway. I think they're very cute. Like I said, I love the little picture, kind of pouring out. Again, this is kind of like a if you know shoe, which I really like. I definitely would probably put the white laces on, but I do green. Like the mix match of the green and the orange. I think the orange is a little too loud for me.
Yeah,
green would look cool. I think the green would look cool. I probably would honestly want to do a mix match of the white laces, of the the orange and the green, kind of aglets. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, I think mismatch of green and orange, or even just the orange laces themselves, like you said, is a little too University of Miami.
Yeah.
Green laces or white laces on these, I think would be like, it's an interesting enough shoe. You don't need to make it overly flashy, Yep. Let the story of the shoe be it. If you got a pair, would you take the scalpel to them and try to reveal any of what's underneath? Yeah.
No. Honestly, you know what is weird? First look, like a quick little glance, bottom one that's all cut out, kind of giving me Freddy Krueger vibes as well.
Oh,
I don't really know why.
Yeah,
just that quick little like side glance, like double take. You're like, no, that's not it. That's not it.
Color's very different, but
that's not it.
I think if anything, removing some of the green swoosh to show the orange underneath it might be like the extent to which I would go. But I like the canvas panels way more than the orange that's underneath it. So
I think that's
maybe a little bit just to show cool. I could do a little something. I take little risks, but not too big.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay. Keep your eyes out for these. Other thing you want to keep your eyes out for, the Action Bronson and New Balance Lapis Lazuli 990 V6, also coming out as of the time of this release tomorrow, Saturday, May 6th, but a little more pricey, $220, but that's 990 V6 for you.
Yeah.
A little bit of backstory on the name here for you, and pardon my eyes because I am reading here, but the Lapis Lazuli, or Lapis for short, is a deep blue metamorphic rock used as a gemstone. For those of you that are not into jewelry, for those of you that are into jewelry, you're probably like, duh, I know that, I'm very familiar with it. For those of you like me, you were like, what Latin is this? And so that's what it is.
Minecraft.
Minecraft. It's just Minecraft, exactly.
It's Minecraft.
But the thing I love most about this, I think this is the shot that Action Bronson posted to his Instagram. And the thing that I love most about this is that classic Action Bronson fashion. Yeah, Nike socks. He debuts the New Balance, the next one collaboration with Nike socks. Just the ultimate, like, do something. Like, I don't care, and I won't care.
As a fellow pro mixing brands, Action Bronson is like the king of of just being like, I'm gonna wear what I like.
Yeah.
I like the Nike black socks. They're more comfortable.
Which
does New Balance make a black sock? Probably, but Action Bronson's like, yeah, but
I don't have them.
Send me
right, yeah,
and I'm not gonna buy them. And I got these.
Well, it's like, and it's fine. I get that, like in your everyday life, sure. It blows my mind that like the official release was like, no, I don't even care for that.
Yeah, I really hope that, like, I'm sure there was someone at New Balance who was like the correspondent, you know, who did a lot of this stuff. And I'm sure to be a fly on a wall for the correspondents just to be sitting there just like holding the phone and be like, that's going to be a tough board meeting.
What intern do you think got that one that was like, do I bring this up? Do I not? Oh, yeah.
God.
Yeah. So the next collaboration from Action Bronson and New Balance, this one has, I would say, a much more muted color palette on it with a lot of accents of blue and way more, less blue in the midsole, which was definitely the thing with the first one. Just moved it up a level, moved it up a floor. You know, like
it was really what they did. Yeah.
If it's the basement and the ground floor and the second story, the blue moved from the ground floor up to the second story with a little bit still on that ground floor.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to bring all the furniture up.
Right. It's heavy. It's heavy. It's heavy. You don't want to. But other details I like. I like these little corded laces that come with it. All the different textures between all the different panels. And it still says baklava on the tongue, which I thought was more so the name of the first collaboration, like the first colorway to come out, not necessarily like just his ongoing collaboration. So that was just interesting for me to learn. But
here we are.
Here we are. So
yeah, it definitely has a more like hiking look to it. It might be the laces. It could be kind of that like vented mesh kind of like top with the green, things like that. But it is definitely showing a lot of like some like a hiking shoe.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I like. Throw JanSport. Throw a JanSport collab right here. You know
this kind of has some JanSport vibes to it. I'll give it that. Yeah,
just make it a triple collab. Why not?
Ooh, there you go, man.
Frick it.
I feel like last year was a huge year for triple collabs, and thankfully they have like cooled down on that. It just got fatiguing to be like
just throw names.
Who is it now? We don't care. Okay, this one is like they got like a little dice shaker. They throw it. This is Clot and LL Bean and Reebok. Okay, well, sure. Why not?
Okay.
It needs to be. Okay,
right. It's a joke, but
no free ideas. No free ideas.
It's a joke, but LL Bean.
But LL Bean would go hard.
The Bean coming back. Sheesh.
Watch out. Watch your backs. But the thing I really wanted to talk about, which, you know, I think we went pretty on the record, was it just in the last episode like this that we did where the first Action Bronson New Balance collab was coming out?
Almost certain.
We went pretty on the record to say this shoe was not for either of us, even though the internet was loving it. So it's probably, for the two of us, it's a pretty simple discussion, but better than the first ones.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, the colors are so much more easy to wear. Sure, if you want to keep that blue as like a signature color, I'm all good for. You know, that green or kind of teal also kind of in there as well. So very similar colors from the OG. But yeah, no, definitely this new colorway is far easier to wear. I'm a big fan of like a dark blue, a very woodsy green. Big fan of those colors. So just off top, I choose the newer colorway. But again, probably knowing the answer to this one, where do you lie?
Yeah, I mean the latest one I think is definitely I think you worded it, which is probably the best, which is like it's way more wearable, which for me means better. You know, so it's like, I don't want to get into a whole heady thing of like better is so subjective. What does it mean? I'm just going to speak for me. I think the new one's better because I could see myself wearing it more, even though, fun fact, I feel like I don't wear navy shoes all that much because something in my head is like they look weird with blue jeans, even though I know I don't wear blue jeans all that much. So I have just this weird little quirk in my head about like dark blue navy shoes. These look good though. Like I really like these. I don't have any New Balance 990s V1, V6, V8. You know, I don't have a truck nor a drink exactly. So V8, was that the juice? V10?
Wow. Yeah.
How many V's was it?
V8.
Okay.
I think
okay.
V8.
That was a good reference.
Absolutely. It
Go
took
ahead,
me a while.
pat myself on the back. Yeah.
When you said truck or juice, I was like, drink.
What's this guy talking about? Yeah.
Sure enough, forgot about just the what a wild concept. What are we selling? Tomato juice.
Where did they go?
They're I'm sure they're around. It's just squeezed tomatoes.
It's not that hard. We could be doing it.
V9.
It's just, when you get to ketchup, go a little bit further, and then you get to V8.
Oh, is that what V8 is? Just more blended ketchup?
It's tomatoes all the way down. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, I don't drink V8 to begin with. I don't know. What are we doing?
I don't know. What are we talking about? Listen, the new one's better than the OGs, in my opinion here. Way more wearable. For me, I mean, it shouldn't surprise me because, that's how much shoes cost now. But I'm like, is it $220 good? Not for me. Yeah. It's not something that, I'm that dying to get my hands on. But it's good. It's better, I would say. I'm really curious to know, though, if you're listening to this episode, if you're watching it on YouTube, leave a comment down below. Let us know which version you like more, because I really do want to know everyone else's opinion on this, because I know most other people like the OGs a lot. So I don't need to know if you like the OGs, because I'm sure most people do, but are the new ones better? Let us know.
Nerf or nothing.
Nerf or nothing. That's the only way it can be. But speaking of shoes that I do like, coming out on May 10th for the retail price of $140, the Nike Airship Every Game. Now, Seth Fowler actually just did a really good unboxing video on these, and if I've done my due diligence, there's once again a link at the top of the screen here to link to that. He talked about in his video that this is the Nike Airship PE, player exclusive, and it'll actually have somewhat of a different shape, even from the recent Nike Airship retros that we've been getting. I don't know all the details of exactly how it stacks up in shape, but something to keep your eye out for. It may be a little bit different there, but let me walk you through it.
Please.
These shoes, light blue suede, just the lightest of blue suedes. You got Every Game right on the heel, right at the ankle collar there. My only bone to pick here, cracked white leathers.
Interesting. I like that.
The only experience I have, I shouldn't say the only experience that I have, boy, this is going to be tough to do. Somewhere, I think it's right here, if I'm pointing at the screen correctly, the Humidity and Politics Reebok workout lows that they did, those are cracked white leather from forever ago. But really seeing Houston's pair, shout out Houston, of the Ama Meniere Jordan 1s that have the cracked white leather, and how much he's been wearing them and how much it has worn off and it looks like you're leaving a little trail of dandruff wherever you go. I just don't get excited about cracked white leather. I'm just I wish you had done something differently there. But you're a big fan of it?
I'm on a pre-age look right now, man.
Yeah, I get that. So they do come with a nice cream sail midsole to them there. So you get that little touch of them.
Also big on that.
Some of the other features, I believe they're going to come with 2 sets of laces, 1 navy, 1 sail. Quick question, which one do you go?
Sail.
Got to go sail on these. The navy, I appreciate that they went navy and not the same color as the suede, because then I think it would get a little too flat. So the navy is a nice pop, but still suede is going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, sail is definitely going to be the way to go. And it's just too far removed from a presenting color, because I'm pretty sure it's the same. Is the sock liner that deep navy?
That's what it is. You're right. Yeah. You're right. It's what's in the sock liner.
It is a part of the shoe.
That's still good.
But since it's too far removed for me personally, so sail would definitely be the way to go.
And then you've got blue outsoles on these, which, do you remember on the Lost and Found Jordan 1s, how they kind of have that chalky white finish to the outsole? These are supposed to have that same finish on them there. There's also a rumor that there's a red colorway of these possibly coming out at some point here. But the blue colorway, we should mention, is inspired by the University of North Carolina shorts that Michael Jordan notoriously wears under his Bulls jersey for every game he plays. Tater gets, what was it, just last year or was it year before? You had a whole You had a year-long
last
tirade,
year.
rightfully so, because they kept bringing out every Jordan retro in the UNC colorway, and you went on a whole. You tore off. You went off about like we know he played for the University of North Carolina. Get over yourself.
So, I mean, second part 2 of this tangent. It's so weird. It's so weird that they were like, let's focus on the college he went to and not the Bulls.
Well, and that might be what we're getting here, but maybe. Yeah, in the river, but yeah, in the first one. But I do kind of get it though for the airship, because the airship was what he played in before the Jordan 1, so timing wise it kind of ties in. But I still get your point.
I will give him one for this one. I will give him one for this one. I think it is clever. I do like this one a little bit better, I will say. So maybe that also plays a part of it. But yeah, it has been some time since we've gotten like the UNC just like colorway dump that we had. But yeah, I really like this one. Honestly, the thing that is odd, or maybe the thing that might be my hurdle, is how bold that stitching is.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's pretty defined.
Yeah, that might be the only thing that would be like a hard thing for me to get comfortable with. Okay. But there's so much about this shoe that I like.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, materials, great. Again, I do like the cracked leather. However, I am a little, now that you said that, I'm kind of like, oh, how is this going to be with the wear and tear and wearability? Yeah. Kind of tough. But I really like the colorway. I love the material. I think it looks really good. The font that they have for every game is just so elegant. It's pretty. Oh my god! Nice, I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good, and how they just kind of flow together, the Y and the G. Attention to detail just gets me.
Big font guy over here.
I'm learning that about myself.
That's what doing this podcast does. You learn a little bit about yourself along the way.
Yeah, when they said Dirty 30, I didn't think it was going to be about fonts, but here we are.
I didn't think I would be out here protecting the fact that I'm a big Tahoma guy, but here I am on the streets.
I'm looking up fonts incognito.
Probably the thing that everyone is talking about the most with these shoes, though, is how much they do resemble the Nigel Sylvester Friends and Family Bike airships that he just started. These just started popping up online a few weeks ago, like 2 weeks before these came out. Main differences include the fact that these say Bike Air in the back instead of where it says every game, or where the airships would say Nike Air. Or do we pronounce it Bikey Air?
Ooh, I guess if you're a real fan, it's Bikey.
If you're a real fan, it's not Bike Air, it's Bikey Air.
Bikey, yeah.
But they say Bike Air on the back. For those of you that are nervous about the cracked white leather, these are smooth white leather uppers. But you know, you got to choose your poison. Mini swoosh on the front of the toe. You get a little. You can't have it all. You can't have it all.
You really can't. Why?
But you can't even have these because they're friends and family. So don't worry about it. Don't get too upset about it. Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not a friend.
Yeah. Nor family. So it's just a bit confusing because, like, you know, you start to see Nigel Sylvester popping up in these, and then you see the leaks in hands and stuff like that. And then you see the every game show up, and you're like, wait, are they tied to Nigel Sylvester? Are both happening? It's like, no. Just like, forget that we did that. That's not for you. You weren't meant to see that. This is what you're getting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we know anything about Nike, they love to be like, hey, we're going to take this super exclusive rare thing, and then we're going to also mass produce it.
A little watered down for everyone else. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, they're like, hey, we want to eat all day.
Yeah. We want to have our cake and eat it too, for sure. So I'm curious to know your thoughts. That being said, because you had some gripes about the every game that are a little bit different on the Bike Air. And I feel like the general consensus of the internet is that the Bike Airs are better. And a lot of people like that it says Bike Air or Bikey Air on the heel of them, and that little mini swoosh on the front toe. But I mean, other than that, obviously they are very similar shoes. So do you have like a best of the two?
I mean, it's basically, I mean, it's the same shoe. So,
right. I guess what I'm asking rather is like, do you have favorite details?
I guess I would probably go with the Bikey Air.
Yeah.
Like I said, honestly, it probably would go down to the cracked leather or just kind of the smooth, regular leather. And again, now hearing the whole, the cracked leather wear and tear might not hold up super well. Might have to go if I had the choice between either. Yeah, I think the Nigels would be more of the one to go. But I like I can't tell if it's just because one is on foot and one is just like a product shot.
Yeah.
I like the shape.
Yeah, I wouldn't
get the every game rather than the Nigel ones.
I get what you're saying. I wouldn't get too caught up in the shape because I think it does have to do with the fact that someone's foot is in one of these.
Is in it. Yeah. But yeah, go Nigel. I go Nigel.
Okay, gotcha.
Like I said, about the same color. And I mean, sure, yeah, it's pretty cool that it says Bikey Air on look back.
Yeah.
You following along with me?
I still kind of go back and forth. I will say it's kind of dumb, and I'm sure you don't like it. But to your point about like, I'm gonna go back real quick. If you look at the side shot of this shoe, like aside from the swoosh and the eye stay, a lot of the rest of it kind of looks just flat because it's all one color and it's all the same.
Sure.
Where I give the Bikey Airs, I love that we're calling them that. Where I give the Bikey Airs credit, the mini swoosh does help to give a little something going on in that front toe where on the Every Games, it's kind of just flat white across the way,
Sure.
So that little mini swoosh kind of is a big detail, but I honestly kind of rather the Every Game font rather than Bikey Air, even though I think Bikey Air is like a super cute, clever play on Nike Air, like like, it's the low hanging fruit, which I'm pretty sure Nigel Sylvester is the only BMX athlete that Nike has on its roster. So it's like, I literally don't know who else would be able to pull this sort of thing off. So I don't know, like it's cool to see. I like the Every Game font, but yeah, the Bikey Airs for smooth white leather instead of cracked and the little mini swoosh would take it for me. That being said, for anyone listening who has the ability to do anything, I want the Every Games so bad. I think so far this year, maybe just short or on par with the big bubbles for me of like what I've looked forward to the most. Yeah. Which is tough because like we're in May now. Now, granted, we've done this a few years. Back half of the year, almost always more stacked than the front half of the year.
For sure.
But so far for me, when I look at like this year, what I've been dying to get my hands on the most, other than a restock of the Lost and Found Jordan 1s.
Please.
God, that last one was trash. It's these and the big bubbles that like I really want to do what I can to get a pair.
Yeah. They're pretty.
So
they're pretty.
Fingers crossed. What do we got? What's our date here? May 10th, Wednesday, middle of the week. That's gonna.
Will people be sleeping?
That's gonna make or break your hump day. I'll tell you right now.
Oof.
Well, if you miss out on that, let me tell you what you got to look forward to. Friday, May 12th, the Bodega and Crocs all-terrain, and we went back and forth on this one. Nict-Tech? Nict-Tech? I'm not sure the pronunciation here, but for $90, Bodega and Crocs Clog coming out on May 12th. As you can see in this very cluttered little product shot that they've provided us, it's that thing with the purple Barney's sleeping bag in the middle of it there. I'll get you on the next shot here. It's the all-terrain clog, they're calling it, which I'll read from the product copy here. Comprised of a woven nylon pouch featuring heritage branding. That means they took the Bodega logo and made it look old. A rugged zip pull and adjustable bungee toggle, as well as a retractable woven nylon hood secured by snaps and a toe anchor. So you're outside, you're hiking in your Crocs, or you're just at the campsite, you're having a good time. The drizzle comes out. No problem. My toes are going to stay dry. And you say, what about chilly? The entire ankle opening where your foot is? And you go, no, my toes are dry.
Toes.
Would you rather wet ankles or wet toes?
Well,
I'll take ankles.
I guess would you rather wet ankles and wet toes or just wet ankles?
That's true. You get one. The ankles
but then I know what you're also
unavoidable.
thinking. Wouldn't the water just go into the shoe and then down to your toes?
Yeah.
Shut up.
This is not for you. You don't get these anymore.
I would say go touch grass, but these Crocs are literally made for people who go touch grass.
These are going to be at the grass for sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these are, I don't know if it's as obvious to you as it is to me. These very much give me Nicole McLaughlin vibes, you know, of like
100%.
the utilitarian Croc. But even then, hers had the ankle collar that went up and protected it. Now, granted, hers did not have the toe covering here, so maybe we bring back the triple collab and we do the Bodega and Crocs and Nicole McLaughlin Clog. Wow, my brain really was like, wait, you said Crocs already. What is the other thing called? Clog. And we just get it right from shin to toe, dry, but comfort in a clog.
Shin to toe. I don't know.
It's got to go up to the knees. That. It's got to go up to the knees. Non-negotiable.
Yeah.
And then I want shin guards in there so I can play soccer afterwards. Non-negotiable.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. I would honestly be afraid of what that shoe could do with that triple collab.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely terrified. Here's the thing. I don't know if it's how indoctrinated I am to Crocs. Currently wearing Crocs right now. Just slipped my feet in because they were under my desk. Didn't even know. I've just got Crocs stowed away around my house.
He's a Croc man.
Like I'm a prepper. Going to Florida, there's gonna be a Crocs.
There's got to be a Crocs.
I'm coming home with another pair.
There you go.
I really like these.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm proud of that or not.
Would go for it?
Will be going for them.
Wow. Big move.
I think the shot right before this, the one without the toe covering, that one, that shot right there, I just think it looks cool. Like you get like the camel Croc, which honestly isn't that. I mean, you could easily get a camel Croc.
Get camel Crocs, yeah. But this is a little less of a real tree camo too, you know. So it's not like
true.
It's not as on the nose.
Yeah, they're goofy, which I think Crocs is just kind of leaning into their past of this is a silly shoe, very goofy. The purple breaks it up enough. I really like. I don't like the whole covering, like the toe covering.
Yeah.
That is too much for me.
You trying to let them dogs breathe?
Yeah, I need my toes. You know, because also the point of the Crocs, if they get wet, you've got all this ventilation. They're going to dry out real quick. I don't need to
take care of itself.
You know, exactly. You know, so yeah, I do like these, and again, but I'm not happy that I like them.
You don't enjoy looking at yourself in the mirror, but you're okay with it.
I'm going to buy them.
Yeah,
I'm going to buy them. Well, I'm going to try to buy them.
Yeah,
I'm sure I won't. I'm sure I won't, but
I don't know. It's hard to judge like what is hype and demand for a pair like this. But given that it's, you know, Bodega, pretty popular brand, this is a pretty like hip clog. Yeah, I guess the demand's probably going to be there. But I'm kind of surprised the retail's only $90 on these. How much is a classic Croc clog?
50, 60 maybe.
Okay. I just figured with like the addition of what they did here, it'd be pushing it over 100.
I maybe that's Crocs. Maybe Crocs just trying to keep their branding as like the everyday, everyman shoe.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, but
trying to keep that price point under 100. Maybe people say $100 for a pair of Crocs. That's crazy. Even though literally on this list we just looked at a $220 pair of New Balance. So.
That's why like I see these for $90, and yeah, that's what like being a sneakerhead will do to you. You'll get so jaded by $200 sneakers that you'll be like, $90, what a steal, what a bargain. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah, like I want to buy it just because it's $90.
Exactly, yeah, yeah. I think there's always in my head there's Adventure Man who loves ACG, but I think in my head I have to at least be able to visualize like, how am I going to use all the little technical features that I'm getting, right? And I think I look at this one and I'm like, it's a cute quirk and a gimmick. I don't think I'd ever see myself stowing something in the stash pocket on my Crocs. I don't think I'd ever see myself stowing something in the pouch on my Crocs. Officers, if you're listening, I did not say that, and you can't prove it.
You can't prove it.
Woven nylon pouch, I will call it.
When is Crocs and ACG finally going to sign that contract? When are they finally linking up? I'm telling you what, when they link up, I think that
it's not happening. It's not happening. I mean, I think the closest, this is a good tangent to get off on though, because that's the, like, I feel like I should be ragging on people. I feel like every new sneakerhead, like when they get into sneakers, everyone kind of has like deep thoughts, like I'm 14 and this is deep. And they're like, wouldn't it be sick if Nike and Adidas just put their differences aside and made a shoe together? And you're like, no shot it ever happens. It's not gonna. I don't see Nike and Crocs doing a Clog together. But all that to say, I think that's a real testament to Ronnie Feig getting Clarks and Adidas together on a shoe. I don't know who else has the relationships and the power to do that. That'll be a good shoe that we talk more about at the end of the year. But I don't need to shoehorn that weird segment in there. But to take your joke question and answer it way too seriously, I don't think they'd ever do it, because I think ACG does enough with like their sandals and their mocks and their heavy stuff. Though I don't think they're really in the Clog game, so maybe missed opportunity there. But
yeah, boy, an ACG Clog, that would give Crocs a run for their money.
I got your spokesman right here.
Get my boy dripped out.
Do you need someone that's in Excel 50 hours a week to show how your off-road Clog works? Hit the DMs. I'm open. I'm available to talk.
Analytics.
Last shoe we got on the list here, and we got to do it to them. Coming out on Tuesday, May 16th for the retail price of $150. The Sean Wotherspoon and Adidas Gazelle Indoor Corduroy. These kind of remind me of the wallpaper in my childhood bedroom.
Damn, your parents were cool.
Well, okay, you want to know what's actually cool? My wallpaper was actually cooler than this. Wasn't wallpaper on the entire walls, but like the little border wallpaper you can get at the top?
Yes!
It was neon. Like, think bowling alley, but graphics of like skateboarders and like people on rollerblades and people on BMX bikes. But it was 3D, and I had 3D glasses, and you could look at it and it popped. I swear I wish I could find a roll of that. I wouldn't put it anywhere in my house, but like
God. How did you I mean, just beating the ladies off with a stick with that kind of room. Sheesh.
It's amazing they were never around, huh?
Yeah. Hey, put on these glasses, baby.
You want to see my Tech-Deck collection? I promise it's impressive. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
You do get like a nice navy suede around the eye stay and the 3 stripes down on the side.
It's pretty.
And then, the shoe is covered in corduroy with this kind of abstract artsy print on it. Other details I liked are the little red suede hit on the back with the Sean Wotherspoon logo. And that's mainly it. I'm really not a fan of translucent gum soles.
Oh, I'm glad you said it. I'm glad you said it.
I do feel like if these were like solid white midsoles with gum outsole, would be a step better already.
I think even a solid gum sole, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with but it's just
gum on the midsole and the outsole.
Yeah.
Transparent gum. Just, I don't know why it makes me feel icky.
It's like I kind of went back and forth of like, okay, I kind of like it, but I don't like it. I don't like it, but I kind of like it, and then I finally just settled on. I'm not a big fan of it. Yeah. And I don't know. It's just this seems just like a contractual obligated shoe. Like, it's just nothing from all of the the products that Sean Wotherspoon has put out, all the sneakers that he has done. Whether I like them or I don't like them, I can at least be like, okay, wow, he kind of went out there. You know what I mean? He really is using his style and kind of having that creative freedom. And I just don't really see this with this one. I mean, it's weird because I agree. To me, the thing I like the most about this shoe is that heel cap. That's like the thing I like the most about the shoe, which is the part of the shoe that I would probably see second to least other than the insoles.
Right, exactly. Which cork insoles. So that's a nice touch. That's nice that you're getting that.
Yeah.
I had a
Where
pair
does
of
the sweat go?
It like absorbs them nicely. I had a pair of Nike React 87s that had cork insoles, and that's the thing I miss most about those shoes. I do not miss how they dug into my Achilles heel constantly. That's why I got rid of them. But the cork insoles, super comfy. I miss that.
Okay.
And I don't know this, but I'll tell you kind of like the impression that I get from this shoe. So, right, obviously up until now, and it's going to be hard to ever do, best shoe Sean Wotherspoon's ever done, obviously the Nike Air Max 97 one.
Yeah.
Undebatable. He does.
Agreed.
So he does that shoe with Nike No other official shoes with Nike, though he has a couple other like prototype samples that, we get leaks of, but they're not going into production. After that, he moves to Asics. Do you remember he did the Corduroy Gel Light 3? So at that point, you're like, he's a corduroy guy. Got it. He's the corduroy guy. Those were pretty good. A little out there. Definitely not as easy to wear. They were mismatched from the left to the right, but if that's your thing, that's your thing. Then he gets on board with Adidas, and you start seeing those projects coming out, and just like, in general, I think the internet says no to almost all of it.
Agreed.
For so many different silhouettes and just different colorways. But so anyways, all that to say, to me, this kind of almost feels like trying to make what people want of him, Like I don't want to speak for him. Obviously I can't. Why am I even concerned about that, Ryan? But to me, it almost feels like corduroy is like the cheat code in the back pocket of like, because correct me if I'm wrong, we've looked at a few of them. I don't think so far since he's been with Adidas, he's done corduroy on another shoe. There's been a lot of weird and wild stuff of like threads hanging over the side.
I don't think so.
And different models. So I don't know that he's done corduroy. And these, compared to some of the other ones we've looked at, way less of like rainbow vomit, I would call it almost. Of like,
True.
Here's a million colors on one shoe. So I don't know. Like, obviously that's just like my opinion on these, but it kind of feels, I think it's a tough spot though. Cause it's like when your favorite band puts out an album and you're like, you either say, oh, this doesn't sound like the last one, I don't like it. Or then you say, this sounds too much like the last one, I want new stuff. Like, like it's
there is no
tough,
winning.
Tough when your first one knocks it out of the park to ever follow.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, he did such a huge, successful shoe. The look, I mean, the model, everything about that was
lighting in a bottle.
Fantastic. And it really was. And you do kind of chase it and things like that. Yeah, I don't know. This, like I said, this just seems like a safe shoe, which again is weird to say for Sean Wotherspoon.
I think that's
just because
exactly
of the things he does. And it's almost like I would rather a kind of crazy shoe that I don't want than a kind of meh shoe that I also don't want.
Right,
I can at least look at a shoe I don't want and be like, I don't get why the threads hang 4 inches on the ground, but
you swung
it's
for
kind of cool.
Yeah,
exactly. It's like, okay, I can kind of see what you're doing, and and I'm like, okay, fine. But like, this is just like, I don't want it. And it looks like, it honestly looks like something you would see in an outlet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you saw an outlet, you'd be like, but maybe if you like did that second guess, I'm like, oh, it's Wotherspoon. Okay, sure.
Maybe. Yeah.
You'd probably try to flip it, but this just seems like something that would sit.
I think just like the toughest thing about his whole partnership with Adidas, at least for me, like the toughest pill to swallow has been like, I don't have a ton of like strong emotions for Adidas silhouettes, like not like I do for like the Jordan 1 or the Air Max 1 or the Air Max 90 or like, any of the original Jordan silhouettes where it's like, even if it's not my favorite take on it, my favorite colorway or materials or something like that, there's something about that silhouette that's going to be inherently cool to me. I just don't really have that association with Adidas. So like for me, that's the toughest thing to get by, is that a lot of the stuff he's done, I've been like, it's way too out there for what I would normally wear. And also like, I'm not buying Adidas Gazelles on the regular anyways,
Yeah, I see that. There's no, at least like legacy behind it.
Yeah. For me personally. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Granted, I didn't grow up wearing Jordan 1s or anything like that, but it's like, it's just a more iconic shoe.
That is, I mean, yeah. And that I feel like is a,
the movie's called Air. It's not called Gazelle. Not yet.
We're waiting.
And that's going to do it. That is what we got to talk about for May 2023 sneaker releases. For those of you that made it this far into the episode, thank you so much. Do us a favor. You got to hit the subscribe button on YouTube. You got to follow us. Leave the rating or review wherever you listen to podcasts. You just listen to us blather about shoes for 50 minutes. We got to be doing something right. Give us the like, give us the follow. It doesn't take that long. For those of you listening on Spotify, fun fact, a little bonus for those of you, we put a poll in the episode description where you can vote which version is better, the Every Game airships or the Bikey airships, which we are calling them that. If you hear anyone else say it like that, remember where you heard it first, okay?
They're copping.
Someone clip this. Biting. Someone clip this and timestamp it right now.
Please.
But with all that out of the way, it's time to hit our contractual obligations here. And let's get to Plug City. Check us out online at shoepodcast.com. You can get links to everything we're about to say right there. We're on Instagram at shoepodcast. Hit the DMs. Let us know what you think of this episode. We're on TikTok at shoepodcast, posting the little short form content there. You know we're having fun with it. We're on YouTube at youtube.com/@shoepodcast, probably where you're watching this. And we are also on Patreon at patreon.com/shoepodcast, where you can show your support for the show with a pathetic $2 a month that goes towards our hosting fees. Whew, what a mouthful. Tanner, what do you got for the people before we go? This is pre-Tanner at the beach, so let's see where the energy is. Next week's episode, we're going to get post-Tanner at the beach. We're going to line up these two moments and kind of see where your headspace is at.
Gotcha. Don't think you're too cool to protect yourself from the sun.
Oh, okay.
Should have just left that. Don't be too cool.
I always love when you do these pauses at the end, because this is all unscripted and I don't know where it's going to be. I'm waiting for you to be like, don't be too cool. And I'll be like, thanks everyone. That's our show. Okay. Sorry to break your flow. Go ahead. Sunscreen.
Yeah. Just look, I'm out every day. Not every day, Lord. Every time.
Yep.
Mowing the lawn.
Yep.
Long sleeve shirt. Pants. A wide brim straw hat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not wearing sunscreen. Probably should. But guess what I'm going to do at the beach though? Sunscreen. You see this complexion. Don't think you're too cool.
Yeah.
Okay, to be popping tees off, getting a tan, things like that. Put on the sunscreen. Okay? Because let me tell you what, you don't want to be 55 years old, skin looking like a chewed up jerky stick. Because you thought you were going to be fun.
Yeah, you're not too good for it. You got a recommended SPF?
As high. I know they say after 50, it's all alike. As high as you can go.
Oh, okay.
If they made a 300, I'd buy it.
SPF 300. At what point is it just like poster board that you just hold over your head,
Just staying inside?
Right, exactly. SPF 1000, and they just lock your door for you. And they say, there you go.
Yeah, SPF 1000 is like, just
stay inside.
Stay inside.
Yeah.
Stay inside. Maybe crack a window if you're really wanting to go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, which, I mean, to be fair, is probably my beach experience.
Yeah.
I get there, toes in sand. I did
That's enough. That's the fun. Yeah.
Yep. And then I drink on the balcony.
However you want to celebrate. This is your time to do it, King. Go off.
Pop.
Thank you, everyone, for checking out another episode of Shoe Podcast. Once again, hit the comments. Let us know what sneaker release from this month are you most looking forward to. Type it in down there. We want to read them. We'll know it. God, that's terrifying. I'm your co-host, Ryan Landry.
I'm your co-host, Tanner Young.
Catch you next week.